show is comprised of people with antique farm tractors and engines that were used back at the turn of the century or into the 20s, called a Maytag type engine. These are small reciprocating engines that would have been hooked up to a attachment, any kind of attachment, but the Maytag was hooked up to a washing machine. So in a farmer's old-fashioned farmhouse, which consisted of the main body of the house and a thing out the back called an L, which also had the outhouse in it, they did their laundry with a Maytag motor hooked to a laundry machine with a belt of some kind. Other applications for these one-lunger hit and miss, make and break engines are for pumping water, or for running saws, or for running, just doing chores on a farm. So here at this show, we try to present these engines in a restored form and in their original form, and let people see what it was like as long as 100 years ago on some of these engines.
My name is Ray Lundberg. I'm from Salem, New Hampshire. The big red one's a 1903 to 1909 Weber 5 horsepower gas engine. They used to use them for cutting wood. It's a side shaft engine. It's run by a cam on the side that controls the exhaust valve to shut the gas off. The intake valve opens and it fires. It's called a hit and miss engine. Cool water goes in the bottom of the cylinder, the heat rises, and the warm water goes out of the top of the cylinder back into the cooling tank.
I'm John Grant. I'm a member of the Belltown Car Club in East Hampton, Connecticut. The basis of our club is the fact that the town made about 5 different manufacturers of bells in the 1800s, and we have one bell manufacturer left, Bevan Brothers Bell, and that's our trophy. It's a school bell made by Bevan Brothers. The club's been in existence for 50 years, and in this particular engine show today, it's about our 44th year displaying antique engines and tractors.
My name is Alan Kohler. I'm from Lebanon, Connecticut. This is where the engine is also from, the town of Lebanon. It was made in 1918. It's a Detroit Motor Car Supply Company engine, 2-cycle, 2.5 horsepower, hopper cooled. This is the water hopper. There's no water pump or radiator on an engine like this. It's basically the engine runs slow enough so it doesn't produce a lot of heat, and it's just cooling through evaporation. This right here is a fuel vaporizer. That's an air intake. Of course, here's your spark plug. Here's your grease cups to keep your crankshaft lubed. And this right here is the timing lever, which times the spark mechanism. The engine is run on a battery and coil, a Model T buzz coil, because it's an engine that was sold without a magneto. You run it on a buzz coil. This engine was used by a family in Lebanon to shell corn way back in the 20s.
My name's Dan Gunther. I'm out of Munson, Mass. It's a 2.5 horse economy. It's built by Hercules. It was sold by Sears and Roebuck. It's about a 1914 or 15, either one. Runs small equipment for a farm. It's hit and miss. Runs on gasoline. So it's a very efficient engine to run because it saves gas. It's just coasting right now. You only hear it fire once in a while. If you put it under a full load, running some, it will fire every time. This is a Webster igniter. It has a set of points in the cylinder. There's no spark plug and there's no battery needed to make it run. All you need is gasoline and water. I usually keep them the way they are. Come out from a farm like this, I leave them unpainted. I leave them just like they came. I've been doing this hobby for about 30 years. And I have some real nice, bigger engines too.
Hi, my name's Kenny Holmes. I'm from Worcester, Mass. This is a 1944 Clark Airborne, air-delivered bulldozer used in World War II, mostly in the Pacific Islands, Guadalcanal, Burma. They were put in the Waco glider in World War II and delivered onto the beaches and airstrips. They would take the Japanese airstrip that was all bombed out and drop these in and use them to grade the bomb craters back out so that they could get bigger planes and bigger pieces of equipment in. The idea that it was so small that it was they could put it in the glider, or sometimes they would land them in the C-47. The boxes on the sides are not tool boxes, they're actually ballast boxes to keep the weight down. While it was being delivered, then they would fill the boxes full of rocks and dirt to add ballast to the machine to give it traction.
Many of the kids come in because they're farm associated, and much of this equipment is farm related. However, a lot of people, once they get settled in their jobs and their employment, have some discretionary money and they're mechanically minded, and they come back into the hobby. What we do to encourage it is that right now in the high schools they have competitions for mechanical devices with robots and things like that. So we actually sponsor them with a little bit of money to help along with their projects. And they recognize where the money came from and the purpose to which it was given, and these kids actually pick up on this hobby later on in life. And as long as we plant the seeds now, it's a long germination process, but when we plant the seeds now, they come back to us later. Not every plant grows, but many do.